The views and opinions expressed in this video are solely those of the Fat Bearded Vinyl Guy and should not be taken seriously by sane people.
What's happening, music lovers? It's Matt, the Fat Bearded Vinyl Guy, once again hanging out in the vinyl air with another World's Worst Record review. First off, if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't know how I just thought of that after this long to do that at the beginning of the video. If you haven't noticed, I wear a different hat on every video. So if you want to get your organization, adult amateur sports team, even high school or college, professional sports team, in front of literally tens of people, drop me a message on my Facebook page. Link is in the comments. I'll even give you a shout out and put your link out there as well. Today I am reviewing an underrated gem from my collection, one that doesn't get enough love in my opinion, mostly because their later work eclipsed this album by quite a bit. It's the self-titled debut album from REO Speedwagon. It was released in October of 1971 and has a much different sound than a lot of their later work. Myself, being a completionist, I was gathering the catalog of REO Speedwagon, at least, well, it's available on the vinyl, and this was one of the diamonds in the rough that I found. Not everybody knows about it. Even if you look on Amazon Music under their albums, you need to scroll down a little bit. But that's what I love about doing these videos. I can introduce you to music that you probably don't know about. Yeah, I can get 500 views on a video reviewing a new release, but showing off a hidden gem, that's what I like. So on that note, we cue the music. Guitarist Gary Richrath starts off the record with the main riff of Gypsy Woman's Passion in a dirty guitar tone. When the band kicks in, it's doubled by Neil Doughty's piano and Greg Philbin's bass. With most of the band playing the same thing, Alan Grotzer plays just a simple drum beat, not to muddy the waters. The B section has a start and stop riff, once again done by everybody, with Grotzer just keeping time in the back, with cowbell. Richrath's solo isn't really a solo, but more him just jamming out and Grotzer banging away on the cymbals. I could see that section alone going on for about 10 minutes live. It is a smoking start to the record. 157 Riverside Avenue was made to be played live and is a live staple even to this day. It's named after the address the band stayed at while they were recording the album in Westport, Connecticut. It's a blues shuffle tune that the live versions feature an extended piano and bass solo. And when Kevin Cronin joined the band, he'd have a call and response section with Gary Richrath and later Dave Amato, where Cronin would scat and the guitar would echo. Those versions regularly last over 10 minutes. Neil Doughty bangs out a honky-tonk piano part and you can hear his fingers hitting the keys. You don't get that with Pro Tools. It's a fun tune to listen to, even this studio version. Anti-Establishment Man has a funky groove and it is my favorite song on the record. It's a protest song protesting the Vietnam War. There is some great lyrics in here. Reading yesterday's headlines, nothing new, it's all the same, spending all that money on a stupid war in Vietnam when we need it at home. Some things never change, man. Neil Doughty's piano riff drives the groove on this song and I can't help but move. Gary Richrath's solo is back in the mix. It's under the piano. Maybe a little less piano, a little more guitar. I don't like the fade out. This needs a bigger ending, maybe a cold ending. It's certainly not a song you could hear from REO a decade later, at least lyrically. Mr. Politician, reform me if you can. I'm an anti-establishment man. Lay Me Down has a gospel feel in the chorus with the gang vocal, and it's accentuated at the end of the chorus when Terry Luttrell sings the hook with the organ in the background. Greg Philbin plays a funky bass line under Gary Richrath's solo. It's really a bass solo with Gary giving atmosphere. This song appeared on the live album You Get What You Play For, and personally I think Kevin Cronin had a better voice for this song. Side 2 starts off with a driving rocker Sophisticated Lady. Gary Richrath plays a blistering solo, followed by a great Greg Philbin bass solo and a Neil Doughty organ solo that's tastier than Grandma's apple pie. When the riff is played, it gets doubled, no, tripled by the guitar, bass, and organ, and it is tight. It's a solid start to side 2. 5 Men Were Killed Today is the most un-REO Speedwagon song REO Speedwagon has ever done. Yeah. Starts off with acoustic guitar that's reminiscent of someone like Dan Fogelberg or Don McLean than anything else. The vocal harmonies gives me vibes of the Hollies. The bass is up front so much that it takes away from the lyrics, which there aren't many of. There's only 2 verses and one of them is harmonized, and that's a shame because they're worth paying attention to. Prison Women is a short, driving rocker that almost seems like an afterthought. It was the only song on this album not recorded in Connecticut, and these lyrics make 0 sense. Only the first line, strumming down the river, and the hook, don't mess with the prison women. Even Gary Richrath's solo seems pretty basic. Dead at Last is an epic, very proggy intro, very Edgar Allan Poe lyrics. Alas, stars are falling while they're drawing a card of death. Torn velvet curtains of our living shows no less. Something has brought me here into this lonely room so satin and cold. Silent eyes are staring, voices calling me to be free. Kind of creeped me out just saying that. There's an extended solo section with alternating organ and guitar solos and a flute solo that gives a definite Jethro Tull vibe, and an Alan Gratzer drum solo that builds into a big epic ending with Terry Luttrell and the Freedom Soul Singers singing "Freedom" like a medieval Scotsman. It's a roller coaster ride, ups and downs, and doesn't feel a second of its 10-minute runtime. The song ends with an explosion announcing that REO Speedwagon is going to be the next great prog rock band until the next album. Terry Luttrell left the band to join Starcastle, an actual prog rock band, to have some minor success as an opening act for bands like Jethro Tull, Kansas, and Rush. REO Speedwagon had 2 different lead singers on the next 2 albums, and we all know REO Speedwagon's success in the late 70s and early 80s. This album is an outlier in the catalog. There's an underlying political progressive rock sensibility that just doesn't exist in the rest of the discography. The sound is there, they groove, and some of these songs sound like they were played hundreds of times in dive bars across Chicagoland. With the addition of Kevin Cronin, then Mike Murphy, then back to Kevin Cronin, REO went in a different direction musically, first as a party band in the late 70s and full power pop in the 80s. But this album has attitude. It's an attitude that the rest kinda lack. Maybe it's the slightly muddy production, politically charged lyrics, and a tight performance. Maybe it's all 3. If you haven't heard the debut Speedwagon album, it's worth checking out. Even if you have heard it, it's still worth giving it another spin. That's all for now. FatBeardedVinylGuy.com is the website. Catch me on Facebook and Instagram. Give me a like there. Here you can give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and drop a comment below to help with the algorithm or something. If you have any requests for albums to review, drop a comment below or catch me up on my Facebook page. You want to send me a hat so you can get your team or organization in front of literally tens of people, catch me on Facebook as well. Until next time, riff for me if you can, and I will catch you on the B-side.